All right, today we're jumping into some really profound ideas from a philosopher named Paul Haagensen. He basically spent 2 years writing down his thoughts, and what came out is this incredible journey into, well, the nature of reality itself, and more importantly, where we fit into it all.
So let's just kick things off with a massive question. I mean, look around you right now. The chair you're sitting on, the device in your hands, it all feels pretty solid, doesn't it? But what is? What if it's not? What if this whole physical world is just kind of the tip of the iceberg in a much bigger, much weirder picture? Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to talk about the illusion of our world. Then we'll get into something called the power of no thing. From there, we'll see why we are the magicians, what the traps of society are that make us forget, and finally, how to start remembering who you are. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, the illusion of our world. The whole idea here is pretty simple, but it's a big one. What you see is not what you get. Our whole perception of a solid, stable world, it might be completely wrong. So according to this philosophy, everything you think is solid is actually just consciousness, life, and energy all wrapped into one. And this stuff is moving at an unbelievable speed. It's moving so fast that it looks solid to us. You know, it's funny, this kind of lines up with what quantum physics tells us, that solid things are mostly just empty space with energy vibrating like crazy.
And get this, the scale of this is just mind-blowing. The quote says it all. Stop the motion and everything would cease to be. Nothing is solid. I mean, can you imagine? If that constant buzz of energy just paused for a second, poof, the whole universe would just disappear. It's the movement that's holding the whole illusion together.
Okay, so if our world is just an illusion created by all this motion, it begs the question, right? Where's all that motion and energy coming from? Well, that leads us right into our next part, the power of no thing.
Now this is super important. When you hear no thing, don't think of, well, nothing. It's not an empty void. It's actually the complete opposite. Think of it like a non-physical realm of just pure infinite potential. It's the source of all energy, where everything is connected. And things like space and time, yeah, they don't even apply there.
And this chart really lays it out. In our world, we've got space, time, and this feeling that we're all separate from each other. But in the no thing, there's no space or time. There's total connection, and it's just this field of infinite potential before it turns into the reality we see.
And here's the real kicker. We're not just some spectators looking in on this no thing. We are it. We come from it, we're made of it, and we'll go back to it. We were never separate to begin with. Pretty wild, huh?
So, okay, this all sounds very cosmic and out there, but how does it connect to you and me, right here, right now? Well, that's what this next part is all about. We are the magicians. This is where it gets personal.
The philosophy here is pretty radical. It suggests that we didn't just get dropped into this life by accident. No way. It says we're co-creators, that on some deeper soul level, we chose to be here. We picked our lives, our challenges, all of it. We're literally the magicians bringing our own reality to life.
And if you want to see how this plays out physically, check this out. It takes about 7 years for pretty much every cell in your body to be replaced. Think about that. You are literally physically not the same person you were 7 years ago. And this is where our power really comes into play. As your body rebuilds itself over those 7 years, what's it using as a blueprint? Your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences, good and bad. They all get physically programmed into your brand new cells. So what does that mean? It means you have the power to consciously choose a better path, better thoughts, and literally rebuild your body in a whole new, healthier direction. Okay, so if we have all this incredible power, why doesn't everyone feel like a magician? Why do so many of us feel stuck? Well, that brings us right to our next section, the traps of society. We're going to look at the outside forces that are supposedly designed to make us forget.
The argument here is that from the day we're born, we're basically programmed. We're taught to believe that we are just this physical body, and that's it. Society hammers this idea into us, making us forget that we're actually a three-part being: body, mind, and spirit. And why? Because when we forget that, we're a lot easier to manage.
And the source material gets pretty specific about these traps. It points to things like school systems that can crush individual creativity. It talks about how natural cures might be suppressed for profit, how the media constantly tells us we need things we don't, just to keep us distracted. The whole idea is that these systems can actually benefit when we're sick, distracted, and focused on stuff that doesn't matter.
And this quote just hits it home perfectly. We are no longer the magicians of creativity, but the slaves of our toys and superficial needs. We basically trade in our real creative power just to chase after the next shiny object, the next distraction.
So, okay, that sounds a little bleak. But how do we get out of the trap? How do we break free? Well, that's what our last section is all about. This is the good part, remembering who you are and how we can plug back into that source of real power.
So, the first step is to completely change how you think about something you do every single night, sleeping. The idea here is that sleep isn't just your body powering down for a recharge. It's actually a sacred, essential time where you disconnect from the physical illusion and plug directly back into the know thing, that source of everything. It's where you can get answers and insights that you just can't find when you're awake and distracted.
So how do we actually do this? The philosophy lays out 3 really practical steps. Number 1, question everything. Don't just accept what you're told. Run it through your own gut feeling, your own inner compass. Number 2, meditate. Make time to unplug from all the noise and just be. And number 3, treat sleep as sacred. Really see it as your time to connect, to recharge, and to find solutions.
And this is such a huge shift in how we see life. The point isn't to race to some finish line, to get more stuff, or to achieve some title. The whole point is to just realize that you're already there, to remember the power you've had all along.
So, here's the bottom line. This life, this body you're in, it's temporary. It's an experience. But who you really are is this ancient, creative being that's eternal. This is just one little chapter in a massive, incredible story.
And it all comes down to remembering that you're made of 3 parts. You've got your body. That's just the car you're driving for this trip. You've got your mind. That's the GPS you use to get around. But your soul, that's you. That's the real driver, your permanent, unbreakable connection back to the source.
And that's where we'll wrap this up. The whole point of this philosophy isn't to give you all the answers. It's really to leave you with one big question. If you are the magician, if you are the one creating your reality, what are you going to create?